Emergency Management Training. Introduction. Emergencies can happen in your workplace, anywhere, and at any time. If you were notified at this moment that there was a fire or flood in your building, or that someone had cut themselves badly in the kitchen and needed medical attention, would you know what to do? Would you know who to call? Part of what makes an emergency is the urgency. In the moment, there is no time to call your human resources department for a lesson on procedures and contacts. This information needs to be learned beforehand. Some sobering statistics. 1. In the event of eye exposure to dangerous chemicals, an eye wash or drenched shower station must be located within 10 seconds of the accident. 2. The average bleed-out time is 2 to 5 minutes, but the average EMS response time is 7 to 10 minutes. 3. It takes 60 seconds to drown. As you can see from these statistics, knowing ahead of time how to deal with emergencies in the workplace is crucial. There is no time to learn in the moment. That is what this course is all about, making sure that every employee, including yourself, knows what to do in case of a workplace emergency. Proper emergency preparedness and management can be the difference between life and death. Chapter Summary. This course is broken down into 5 chapters. What is a workplace emergency? This chapter will help you recognize what is and is not a workplace emergency. Does the chain reaction of emergency response begin when there is a break-in, a power outage, the announcement of a worldwide pandemic? By the end of this topic, you will know the answers. What is emergency management? This chapter defines and explains the stages of emergency management so you can see what an important role you as an employee play in keeping your coworkers safe and your place of business up and running at every stage of a worst-case scenario situation. Responsibilities of employers and employees in workplace safety. What are you yourself responsible for in terms of emergency preparedness or in an actual emergency management situation? What about your employer? This chapter will discuss both your roles. What is an emergency awareness plan? This chapter will discuss the specifics of the written emergency management plan your employer is responsible for creating, maintaining, and distributing. Working alone. Till this point, this course has assumed that you work in a setting with other people, but this may not always be the case. What do you do if you find yourself in an emergency situation while working late by yourself in the office or remotely? What plans should be in place if you are off-site and an emergency occurs? This chapter will cover the special risks involved in working alone. Summary. This chapter will summarize the main points of the previous 5 chapters to help you focus on the most important takeaway messages. By the end of this summary, you will understand your role in emergency management as a responsible employee and be confident in where and how to find information related to emergency response that is specific to your own workplace context. Goals. By the end of this course, you should be able to recognize a workplace emergency situation and act accordingly. Explain your role and that of your employer in workplace emergency management and preparedness. Give the definition of an emergency awareness plan or EAP and explain its importance. And advocate for sufficient emergency management training and self-preparedness. Let's begin.